Hey everyone, it's Maria here. Welcome to this week's live Q&A. A big thank you for everyone for your patience over the last couple of weeks, or I should say at this stage, probably the last couple of months, for being so understanding with all the fires that we've had going on here at home. And thank you for all your questions. We actually have a lot of questions today, and I'm not sure if we're going to get to everything today, but we're going to do our best. And we're going to take it from there. So let's go. Let's get going. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. Okay, question number one. I have been wondering how I can describe this group for my INFJ and INFP friends who are interested in joining. What do you think is different about this INF group compared to others? Thank you for answering. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you for your question. It's great that you're asking that question. It's incidentally something that a lot of the times people wonder, because we are not a normal INF group. We are a group for INFJs and INFPs who have already committed themselves into doing their developmental work. So this is maybe it's easier for me to say what this group is not for, and that will probably give you the answer that you're looking for. So this group is not for people who have just discovered that they're this type, INFJ or INFP, and they need, and they're in this space of really wanting to identify with their type. Because what we do here in the development group is we grow yes, within our type, but also beyond our type. So we grow as we recognize that we are people first and foremost, and then a part of that person that we are is the type that we are. So this isn't just one of those, ooh, is it an INFJ thing? Is it an INFP thing? Usually most things are people things. So our group is more about why you're the experience that you're going through right now. So let's just say that you're having a really bad experience in a relationship right now, for example. You know, people say, oh, INFJs can never have good relationships, or INFPs are always misunderstood in relationships. Well, that's not actually true, because INFJs can have good relationships and INFPs can be understood in relationships. So we're not looking for those generalizations of those types. We're looking to actually for you to do your work as that type as you are. So do your development, understanding that you're an INFJ or an INFP, but still continue to grow. And I remember some time ago, actually, a person made some kind of a negative, they were feeling in a negative way, and they made a comment, and they said, oh, I know this is the wrong group for this kind of like how I'm feeling, but here's how I'm feeling. And it just really stood out for me, because it made me feel like that particular person, and perhaps other people in this group, feel like you can't air your grievances in this group. And that's you know, that's completely, I've clearly miscommunicated that, because of course you can, because it's a part of your experience. But it's not so much about just airing your grievances, but actually what are your steps with it? You know, what are you going to do about it? What are the things that, if you're, let's just say that you're having a really hard time, and you're wanting to make a post and get some positive feedback or some support from the group, and you say, I'm having a really hard time, this is what's going on, and then you add at the end of your post, I would like, if you have any help for me, if anybody has any ideas on how I might overcome this, that would be really, I'd be really grateful for that. And so that's a perfect post. This is not, let's all pretend to be a positive group, positive person group, because that's not real life. Real life is actually being positive and negative. You can love and hate somebody at the same time. You know, life isn't black and white like that. So this is not a group where we pretend that everything's okay, because everything's not okay, because you're doing your developmental work. But it's a group where you take responsibility for your journey. So let's just say you're having a hard time and you just want to vent and you don't want any feedback from people. Then you just say, hey, I just want to vent. Thank you, but no for feedback. And this is what's going on. Thank you so much for listening to me. So in short, I think the biggest differentiation between our INFJ, INFP development group and other INFJ and INFP groups is that we are proactively looking to grow, and we understand that life is not one-dimensional or two-dimensional, as in I'm just an INFJ or you're just an INFP, but that in fact it's a starting point for how to grow. It's not a defining factor. It doesn't mean that, you know, if you've, as an INFJ, you've done a door slam on a person, that's now how you want to live the rest of your life, because a door slam, for example, is the 10-year-old inner child's reaction to a situation that they can't handle. So what you do in those situations is, you know, you want to grow beyond the INFJ door slam into, okay, well, that's one coping mechanism in those situations. Now, what can I learn about, for example, boundary setting and reinforcement, so I don't have to get to that point where I have to rely on the INFJ door slam for the rest of my life. So those are the differences. We are not for people who just want to only have a subjective experience validated and true. We are for people who want to truly be challenged to grow, who already kind of have realized what type they are and how they might you know, be in the world. You don't have to be perfect. And this is also not a group where inner children get to just shit all over other people and, you know, start arguments over trivial stuff. We're all adults here, we're all grown up, and we take responsibility of our own personal journey of discovery and personal development. So I hope that answers that question, but that's something that I hope that becomes very clear as we go along. This is also not a group for you know, people just lurking in the corners. So if you're not taking part in the conversations in the group, we will eventually ask you to either, you know, do something or leave the group, because this is a proactive growth group. This is not a I'm just, you know, collecting information for my own benefit and never take any action. This is an action-oriented proactive growth group. So I hope that answers that.